The following text is taken from a comment article in the national newspaper from the 26th of May 2025, written by David Henry, Director of Scottish Sovereignty Research Group, and entitled, Inside the Conference That Exploded a Legal Bombshell About the Union.
As I write this almost 1 week after the second Scottish Sovereignty Research Group, SSRG, 3-day conference, it's difficult to put into words how much the world seems to have changed. The conference, which took place last weekend, had been planned for more than 6 months. The Dunfermline Carnegie Conference Centre was a fitting venue as Dunfermline, of course, served as the de facto capital of Scotland between the 11th and 15th centuries. So what did people learn while at the SSRG conference? We learned that the UK pension is a Ponzi scheme and that national insurance is being paid by today's workers to pay today's pensioners and nothing had been invested. This is completely different from the likes of Norway, which has a sovereign wealth fund, officially the Government Pension Fund Global. It had a value of around $1.738 trillion as of March this year. The UK has no sovereign wealth fund. A session on what happens on the day after independence saw Jim Silas and constitutional expert Dr. Elliot Bulmer discuss how Scotland will need to negotiate with England on a future trade agreement and the division of assets and liabilities. However, the big event saw a panel of legal and constitutional experts one by one started to dismantle the prevailing legal narrative that Scotland was in and had joined a union with England in the 1706 Treaty and the 1707 Acts of Union. Professor Alf Baird presented how Scotland was living in a colonial mindset reinforced by Britishness in the media, or, as I would call it, the BBC. Craig Murray talked about how Scotland must take its sovereignty back. Sharaf Azizov, a lawyer from Justice pour tout International in Geneva, talked about how he would be taking Scotland's claim to the UNC24 Committee for Scotland to be listed for decolonisation. Then evidence was expertly presented by Professor Robert Black KC, who demonstrated that no legal union was ever created. England continued as before while Scotland was extinguished. The word extinguished became a running joke as I had accidentally used the word to describe the panel instead of distinguished. Ah, the joy of live TV. The legal ramifications of what was revealed over the fictitious nature of the Union cannot be overstated. Every treaty the UK has signed in the last 300 years is based on a legal fiction. This is truly a legal bombshell that exploded onto the world stage during our conference. So where does this leave the political parties and the elected politicians? Few of them have taken the time to even question the validity of the British state. Yet here we have expert legal opinion based on verifiable documented evidence that the UK is a legal fiction and Scotland is a non-self-governing territory, NSGT. By the time you read this, the number of people who have viewed this historic session will have reached over 10,000, and none of this could have happened without Sarah Saliers, who co-founded Liberation Scotland.